So, Chris, we always finish on a quick fire round. You can answer however you like, but if you'd like to answer short answers, you can.
I'll do short answers if you don't mind, because
Sure.
I think we have to go.
Yeah, sure. Who's more articulate, Muhammad Ali, Tyson Fury, or Chris Eubank?
Muhammad Ali.
What do you know that most people don't?
Ask the question again.
What do you know that most people don't?
What I know is as follows. I know how to make you remove the veil from your third eye. That's what I know.
What's the biggest thing you've been wrong about in the last year?
That's funny. My biological children. Move on.
What have you been wrong about with your biological
You asked me
children?
the question, I gave you the answer. That's private. Move on.
What's the most expensive thing you've ever bought?
Well, let's see. The most expensive? Can I just go to most valuable?
Sure.
Yeah, cannabis. Cannabis has been the most valuable item that I've bought because it's herb, and it's God's herb, and it opens your mind to see. It's part of the way of actually removing the veil from your third eye. So if you listen to me, I'll tell you how to do it, but I shan't tell you yet. The room is too small.
It is cozy.
It is. So we're going to save that one for a bigger room.
What's the best advice you ever remember receiving?
If you don't ask, you don't get. But it's a trick. Yeah, it fools you to ask the wrong person. And the wrong person is the person in front of you. Ask who's inside of you, and then wait until it appears. Ask and you shall receive. Don't ask a man, if you're a woman, because he wants something in return for what he's giving you. So don't ask a man. If you ask a woman for something, you know, it's an infraction. Don't ask women for anything. You give them, and you want nothing back. Yeah. Did I make clear what my point was? Did I?
You said, if you don't ask, you don't get, which incidentally is my dad's advice to me.
What? If you don't ask, you don't get. So you asked, do you?
That was the advice my dad always gave to me.
But I'm asking you, who did you ask? Did you ask people in front of you? Is that what you mean?
Well, I was too scared to ask. That's why he gave me the advice.
Okay, so who did you ask for things?
Well, mostly no one, because I was too scared.
Okay, so you never asked anyone for anything?
Mostly not.
Okay, so what I'm asking you to do now is ask yourself. Ask yourself for what you want. Choose your position in media, choose your position. How big do you want to be? If you choose it and know that you're in that position now, because the cameras are on, all you got to do is tell them who you are, and they'll believe you, because you are. It's as simple as that. So start calculating in your mind before this interview finishes who you are in the world, who you wanted to be when you were 7, 8 years old. Who did you want to be? So you have the industry, so how big do you want to be? We'll get it for you now. All you got to do is just answer my questions. They're simple. No words could be simpler. What did you want? What do you want to be?
I want to be as useful and valuable around education of money and being the greatest person you can be to as many people as possible. I don't care for the views or being the greatest interviewer or media star. I want to be the most useful to people with better financial education and knowledge, to millions or billions of people.
Well, as you've said that, it reminds me of my friend, Piers Morgan. Yeah. I told him he could be Prime Minister. He didn't believe me. He could have been Prime Minister because...
Pretty easy to get in at the moment.
Even if it was hard, because it's the word of the king, the silent king. Because I actually believe in him. Because I saw how he was with the NHS. No one. There was no man or woman in the world, no celebrity, who could not obey the rules and not have his wrath voiced. He's brilliant. Oh, he's a little bit around the edges, that's okay. He has the gall to do it. And him hearing this interview, he'll probably try to work with, and I don't see why he shouldn't work with who's just come in. Because he spoke for something which was righteous. The NHS, that's the marshal service, that's the police service. So as much as he was going on, he was asking people to follow the law. That's my man. So he must be Deputy Prime Minister now, once this goes out. Because if he's not, it won't make sense to me. He's strict, and he has balls. Kahunas. He's a warrior. Yeah, don't worry about the fact that he likes cricket. Doesn't make him soft. Okay, yeah, you're looking at me and you say, well, he's a boxer, so, you can't compare. No, I love that he loves cricket. Cricket, love cricket. Lick the ball before it lick the wicket. Because I'm a Jamaican, we love cricket too. Okay, that's his game. He's rougher around the edges, but no rougher than, one of those other fellows who were sitting in that seat. Yeah, he's got a strong voice. He's got courage. Courage to speak his truth, and he spoke his truth on the right subject, the NHS and the laws of the time of COVID. He's a superstar, period. I said so. Yes, I did. He's a superstar. And he should be working with me. Well, he actually is already working with me because he's my friend. I give him advice. He doesn't take it. It doesn't matter. He will. Just couldn't see what I saw. I'm his friend. In silence. Yeah. And behind the scenes, I'm powerful. Yeah, ask Shah. She knows. This is what I was supposed to actually blossom into. King. The king. The king. Yes.
Chris, what's the worst advice you ever remember receiving?
It's the same one. If you don't ask, you don't get. It's the same one. It's tricky. It's a conundrum. You ask the person's a person. They want something back in return. You give. So the person wants a return.
Fair exchange.
It's a fair exchange, supposedly. When you're straight, it's got to be straight. Yeah, you gotta pick up your receipts. I went through years. Let me tell you how hard I learned. They used to put tickets on my truck for years. I drove that truck as my car every day to the shop, to the movies, to the premieres. Do you know what I used to do? I used to actually get ticketed all the time, and I used to pull them down and just leave them in the gutter. You know what I didn't know? A fine never goes away. It just builds up. And the more it builds up, the more money you got to pay. But that's how brazen and free I was to climb the ladder. I can't park the truck in front of the Dorchester, in front of, you know, these restaurants. So I've got to, you know, I've got to park it there. So I've got to get tickets. I had hundreds of thousands of pounds in tickets over those 6 years, maybe more. Hundreds of thousands of pounds. And it didn't bother me a bit. And I was broke.
Would you rather be the richest man in the world or the greatest fighter of all time?
You didn't talk to me about me being broke while I was actually pumping. I was giving it large. You don't want to talk about that?
Why were you broke, Chris?
Because I didn't have time to learn the rules. And when you don't learn the rules, you get conned. You get robbed. Nothing personal, just business. Don't hold it against the guy who's actually stolen your money. Don't complain about that.
Did someone steal your money?
Everyone steals your money when you don't keep your receipts.
I think most people know if you don't pay your parking tickets, you're in the shit, don't they?
Yes, but I didn't care because it was holding me back. I was a fireball. I was on fire. I don't have time for that. I'll deal with that. I gotta go. I gotta park my car here because this is where I am. And everyone has to know. Because if they don't know, then they don't know the king is in town. Right now, I've just got a van. Okay. Give me no more than 3 hours. I will be in the class I deserve to be in, that I've earned, that I should be in. So everything that you do, I'm going to teach you to get paid for it. It's not the love of money, it's money. And it's the only way you can travel around the beautiful world that we live in. Now, are we finished? Can I go? Because if I can give you a poem before I leave.
I've got 3 questions, the
Go
quick
ahead.
fire ones. Thank you. What's your biggest failure, Chris?
I met my 3rd wife too late, but it wouldn't have mattered. Everything is on time. Next.
What's your biggest regret?
My son asked me, Sebastian, when he, I don't know, it was about 2000 and, could it be 2012, 13, 2014, 15, 16, 2015? He said to me, Dad, we were in Marylebone. He said, Dad, let's go and smoke a spliff together and walk around the block. Let's walk around the block and smoke a spliff together. The greatest offer of my life I turned down because I was broke. I said, why are you coming up here? I only have this little place here. He said he wanted to sleep in the room with me because he was in London. I'm living in abject poverty. And I've given all the money to the then wife. Take care of it then. And I thought she was taking care of it. And anyway, long story short is that I pushed Sebastian out. I pushed him out. I said, no. I don't have anything I can give you now. I'm struggling, man. I probably didn't tell him I was struggling because I got too much pride. I was like, no, you can't be here. And it got fiery. And something unspeakable happened. I did something unspeakable. So that's loss. There's nothing I love more than medical cannabis.
What was the unspeakable thing you did?
Not your business. How dare you?
If you don't ask, you don't get.
You should know. It's called discernment. I've brought you close enough for you to understand. Where were we?
This show is called...
No, where were we?
I think you'd finished the last.
Had I finished? Okay, carry on.
Yeah. Why did you need to check with someone else that we'd finished? Why did you not take my word for it?
Because I was sure I had actually said something that I wanted to carry on talking about. Be careful to question me, young man. I ask the questions when I want to, and I'm allowing you to. So please do. You're no teacher here. I am the teacher. Know your place, and I'll give you the best interview of your life. Please, carry on.
This show is called Disruptors. What does disruptive mean to you?
Disruptive innovation means something to me, which is come in and make it cheaper, make it more equitable so everyone can get the wealth, so everyone can eat and be warm, so everyone can enjoy their time on earth. You need money to do that.
Would you rather be the greatest fighter of all time or the richest person alive?
I am the greatest fighter of all time. Under Mike Tyson, under Muhammad Ali, under Joe Louis, and under Jack Johnson. I'm one of them. I'm a goat.
Would you like a sweetie?
Smarties are wonderful confectionery. Indeed. Please. How kind of you. Oh, my dear, my king, thank you. Oh, wow. You're not teasing me, are you? You do have them. Oh, don't tell me you don't have them.
We actually did have them in our previous location.
So it means you don't have them. So you actually pulled a stunt of which you couldn't pull off. How wonderful it would have been if you passed me the Smarties.
We had them. We had the bowl of them.
Oh my goodness. But you know why you didn't bring them? Because I don't use sugar anymore. I remember treats. Look them up. They came before M&Ms. And I was addicted to them. I lived on them. They were my strength. Treats. Now. I no longer eat those things because they have sugar. Sugar is the forbidden fruit. Sugar is. Eat fruits, eat watermelon, eat mangoes, but not ones made of sugar, little sweeties, because it kills your it kills your body. Sugar is like cyanide, period.
Thank you so much for being on the Disruptors show, Chris Eubank.
It is an absolute pleasure. Thank you so much myself, thank you. Delighted, delighted. Thank you. Okay.
Hey, quick, before you go, if you want to watch the full, raw, uncut version of this episode in detail, no holds barred, you can watch it here. But before you go, make sure you like this video, subscribe to the channel, and turn the notification bell on.